Well, I am out here with Joelle at Smithberry Barn, and you know, Joelle, fall has so many wonderful things, and one of the great things is apples, and we get a lot of them here. So you're going to be giving us a recipe. What are we making today?
So we're going to make apple butter today, but we're going to do it in our crock pot.
Wow.
So it's kind of a fix it and forget it.
So then what would be the first steps in planning this?
So basically, we're going to use 3 different apples today, and we grow about 25 different kinds, and so we've chosen some that we think would make a good saucer of butter. So we have our Akani apple, we have our Melrose apple, and we have our Northern Spy apple.
Okay, well, let me interrupt you there because why are we mixing types of apples? Wouldn't you just put in the apple you're using?
You can do, pretty much you can do any apple. I mean, there are some that are better than others, but we like to do a mix so that we get some, sauciness, some that are good for saucing, that get a lot of juice. Others have a little more flavor profile, like the Northern Spy is a little more tart.
And of course, people that come out to the store can ask you those. I mean, you can really help them choose the flavors like that. Perfect, perfect.
And right now is the time because this is when all of the apples are pretty much available.
They're out there and ready.
Yes, we've harvested just about all of the varieties that we grow, and you can pick your own of most, not all of our varieties, but we do have a lot of you-pick apples as well.
So you have those still available as well?
Yes, yep.
Now,
I'm going to start.
Okay, and you're holding your hand, so I guess it's going to be a little
I'm protecting you.
And then you sell this contraption for this also, don't you?
Yes, we call it an apple peeler core slicer.
That was really easy.
So it peels cores and slices all in one.
And you're just breaking them in half there?
Breaking it in, just breaking it up a little. It will sauce down all by itself with the heat of the crock pot. So.
And then about how many of these do you think you're going to have to do just until that's full?
So about 15 to 20 apples, depending on the size. You'll notice some of them are smaller, some are bigger. So I just basically fill it until it's full.
Well then, we're going to let you continue this, and then we're going to take a break and come back when that crock pot is filled with apples.
Sounds good.
Okay, Joelle, I feel like I need to help, so I'm on this side now with some stuff, but you've almost got this filled up with apples.
So about 3/4 of the way through, we're going to add our spices and our sugar. So that's your job if you want to just go ahead and sprinkle.
This looks like just brown sugar.
Brown sugar. We have a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, a 1/2 cup of white sugar, and then we have some spices. And you can actually make this without sugar. I've done it both ways. I like the addition of a little bit of sugar. It helps bring out the flavor of the apples, but if you're looking for something with low sugar or no sugar, you can definitely make it without.
And you can probably just, if you make more than one of these recipes at a time, which I'm sure people will once they taste it, then you can now, what spices?
So we have some cinnamon, we have a couple of teaspoons of cinnamon, we have some freshly ground nutmeg, and we have some cloves.
Wonderful, wonderful. And all of those spices you can get at your store as well.
Yes, we have some nice, you were talking about the nutmeg.
Yeah, I had not seen, these are actual nutmegs. That's what
Correct.
they are.
Yep, and so you just grate them over a fine grater.
Wow.
And it brings out the best flavor.
And
of the
I'm told
nutmeg.
that really makes a difference. Very fresh.
Exactly.
It's a very fragrant thing. And then what is this?
So this is our fresh cider. So this is farm fresh apple cider, and so we're going to do about a 1/2 cup, and you can just pour it right over the top.
Just pour it right on the top. I like that there's it's not a lot of mixing.
Very easy. And we'll toss it a little. I'm not going to do it right now, but we need to fill it with a few more apples, and then we'll toss it as best we can. We don't have to be too picky about it because it'll cook down and mix up itself.
And how long does it
We're going to go for about 10 hours
on
low.
Well, okay, so through the magic of television, we'll be back in about 10 hours while we finish up. Okay, Joelle, so 10 hours have passed now, and this is what it comes down to, which is, tell me what's happening here.
So basically, we've sauced it for about 10 hours on low, and it definitely just breaks apart on its own. But see how liquidy that is?
Right.
And so we are going to use our handheld stick blender.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just going to immerse it, an immersion blender. And I'm just going to stir it around.
And if you didn't have one of those, could you just put it into a blender too and do it?
You could. It's a little bit more difficult. You have to be really careful because obviously you can see it's hot.
Right.
And so just be careful about pouring it into your blender. And then you're going to want to bring it back into, I would keep going on this.
Right.
And it would become a complete puree. And so the next step then is to turn it on to high and keep the lid off for about 2 hours.
2 more hours then?
And basically all that's going to do is
does that evaporate the water?
Evaporate the moisture and reduce it to
a
a thicker, more butter-like consistency that makes it more spreadable and concentrates the flavors.
And then once that's done, now you're ready to do whatever you're going to do with it.
Exactly. So you can just keep it in the refrigerator for a couple of weeks in a jar or container, or you can freeze it, or you can can it. You just want to follow the canning instructions for a regular apple butter.
And then I have several ideas of what to use it on, but what do people use it on generally?
So you can use it on anything, toast, scones. I put it in my oatmeal every morning. It's very versatile.
And then this is some that I'm going to taste right here. And I do like, it almost has a much more soft butter texture to it.
So they call it butter, but it doesn't have butter in it. It's just spreadable like butter.
And it really tastes like wonderfully sweet apples. I mean, it's just a wonderful spicy apple flavor.
It's good.
Wow, I could see it on ice cream too. I'm just saying, but French vanilla ice cream. So, we love coming out here. We love spending time with Joelle and learning how to cook wonderful different recipes. So if you're saying, okay, this is easy enough, I know I can do it too, go to gardentime.tv. We're going to click you over to their website. You can print this out and make some wonderful apple butter just for yourself and your family. Thank you, Joelle.
Thank you.